I'm transforming my home studio from a boring room like this to this. When creating this home studio space, I had 3 goals in mind. The first being a talking floating head video area like this one with a flexible and engaging background. Secondly, we wanted a top-down product shot area. As we move forward in YouTube and we review more products, I feel like this area will be utilized more and more. Third, we wanted to have a minimal workspace. Just a basic computer and a single monitor. If we wanted to check emails or bring up a script or bring up a brief, we could do so very seamlessly. Just an FYI, the room already had the wood acoustic wall panels on there and the paint on the walls, so we're gonna repurpose that for this home studio build. The first thing I wanted to do was bring in the 6-foot custom desk I built for the space. This desk was super easy to build, 2 legs, a butcher block countertop from Home Depot, and some wire management from Amazon. All hardware was also from Amazon, so getting all these things was pretty easy. Again, we went with the minimal look here, just a 6-foot flat desk, no return like my normal studio upstairs that I use to stream on a daily basis. But again, with the space we had, I think the 6-foot desk fits perfect in here. The next thing I wanted to do was mount my camera and monitor mount to the desk. This monitor mount is from Terion and I bought it on Amazon. This thing seemed so cool when I saw it. It has so many different mounts and attachments. It has an area for your boom arm. It has an area for a second camera mount, which I'm using for my top-down product shots, as well as the one you're looking at right now. It also had the option of attaching a monitor, which I'm using, but it also had the ability of attaching a tablet or a laptop stand to this same arm. So again, one stand for all those things. I think it was perfect, again, for my minimal setup. As an added plus, I was super taken back by how durable this arm really is and how easy it is to adjust things. I don't know how else to explain it than to just show you. Just the ability of just a quarter turn and then sliding your arms up and down and then now tightening with that quarter turn. That is all you need to do to adjust these arms. It's not a constant unscrewing and screwing back in. I think it's an added feature that is just overlooked. Once I attached the camera to the lower mount and I got the angle just right and the framing right, it was now time for me to start building out my background. The first product I brought in was the Govee floor lamp. That allowed me to then get that little extra burst of color, which you see here is orange, and I faced it towards the wall. The next thing I did was bring in a huge plant and I put it right in front of that. And that allows me to kind of break up that color and add a little more texture behind me. The next product I added were these Govee rope lights, and they fit perfectly in between the wall slots of these acoustic wall panels. And I actually use them for another purpose, and I'll show you that a little later on in the video. Once I added all these different lights and the textures of the plant, I still had this big gray wall to my left. And I didn't know what to do with it, but I know I wanted this area to be a little bit more flexible and a little more versatile, so I decided to go with black pegboards, and I attached these in a 4x3 style. I got 3 packs of them. These packs also did come with the hooks and the trays and the cups, so once I attached them to the wall and I got them in frame so I can start displaying items in this shot, it was super easy to start displaying items like that keyboard right there. And I wasn't sure if it would even be seen in the shot, but I also did bring a couch in and place it behind here, and you can actually just see the arm of the couch. And again, it just brings an extra element to the shot that I think a lot of people wouldn't notice, but now that I'm telling you, you probably will. I really started to like how the background was starting to come together, and I knew lighting would bring the whole setup together. But before I did that and hung the lights, I wanted to finish my desk area and mount my computer and get that area of the room situated. The PC we used in this space was actually a wall-mounted PC that was in this location before building the studio. So we're gonna repurpose that and use it. I don't know all the specs of this PC. It's been so long since I've built it, but I do know that it has a 2080 and it has an Intel CPU. I'll try to get the details of all of the parts and I will list them below. The case I know is from Thermaltake, and I will link that in the description below because I know we're gonna get a lot of questions about it because it is wall mounted and it is an open air case. With my desk facing away from the wooden acoustic panels behind me, I didn't want my voice to bounce off of the sheetrock. So what I decided to do was add these 4 huge acoustic panels on that wall. When unboxing them, I was actually pretty excited because they had brackets, they had mounting points. I was like, this is gonna be easy peasy. So once I used the laser level and I got all the brackets evenly spaced and put on the wall, I mounted panels, but the panels didn't look even because the panels weren't 100% square, and that bothered me a little bit. I did some minor adjustments to make them look more even, but I really hoped that they would come perfectly square, but I guess I just assumed and I shouldn't have. With all that being said, I would probably still lean in this direction versus those generic still foam panels that you use spray foam or spray adhesive or stickies to stick on the wall. This is a lot more professional and a little bit more, in my opinion, better looking. But again, to each his own. I just think this is a little easier cleanup if I'm ever gonna redo the area. It's 2 screws, not the mess of all the stickies and the adhesive on the other option. Once the wall panels were up, the monitor was mounted and the computer was mounted, it was time for wired management. There wasn't a lot going on in this setup, not a lot of screens, a lot of products, so it was super easy to do so. I ran a display port and a couple USB extensions through the wall and under desk height so you can hide the wires the best I could. I powered the computer, all of that stuff was super simple, and I also have a power strip underneath the desk to make powering my monitor, as well as things like a dummy battery for my camera, super easy. And on top of it, I'm still using those same metal trays that I use in my normal studio upstairs. I absolutely love them, and for the cost, I feel like they hide all the wires perfectly, and it's very easy with just shoving all the wires into that tray. When it comes to my camera, I could see myself recording a lot to the internal SD card like I am right now. But if I did want to, I can use the HDMI out and run an HDMI all the way over to the capture card in my PC and record from the computer. And again, with that dummy battery I just mentioned, that would make it super easy. With all that stuff done, it was time to put that finishing touches on the room, and that means hanging the lighting. All of my lights are hanging on Varipoles. If you guys don't know what Varipoles are, they are huge tension rods that can go wall from wall in a room and allow you to mount your lighting pretty much to the ceiling and out of the way, giving you more floor space and a little bit more flexibility of what you do under those lights and not needing stands or anything like that. The key light I went with was the Amaran 200X. This is the same light that I use in my upstairs studio when I stream. I fell in love with it, so I wanted to do something very similar in this space. I'm partnering that with an Amaran 33-inch wide softbox with the honeycomb grid to help direct the light towards me and not fill the rest of the room. The next light I have is the Amaran 150C that is behind me, and I'm using that as a hair light. There's no softbox on that, but I will eventually be putting this little like cover over it to soften the light just a little bit, but it helps separate me from the background with this nice little light that happens here. And with the huge variety of different colors that the 150C can provide, I feel like the different effects that I can give and the different shots that I can provide you guys is just endless. Wire management can be a bit tricky when it comes to these studio lights because not only are they mounted on the Varipoles and up in the air, but the plugs are down on the ground. And I don't have the ability right now to add plugs to the ceiling or anything like that to power these devices. So what I did was I hid them. So the power cable for the 150C actually fit perfectly behind one of these Govee rope lights. So they actually run behind there all the way down to the floor and now get plugged in behind the couch. I did something very similar with the other light, the 200X. I ran that light all the way across the Varipole, and then with a little bit of an extension, I went down one of the grooves of that acoustic wall panel, and I also plug it in behind the couch. So we have the talking headshot all set up with all the lighting, we have the minimal workspace, and we do have the top-down product shot area. But we didn't cover that area very much because the setup takes a little bit more effort. All I have to do is mount this camera that you're watching me on now on that upper camera mount. That is already facing downwards, and all I have to do is exchange the background that you're looking at. I put these different backgrounds on the surface of the tabletop. I can use the wood butcher block countertop if I would like to, but I have different colors I purchased off of Amazon as well. A variety of color, including black and white, just to keep things simple. Again, this just kind of gives that professional look, and as we move forward in our YouTube tech journey, I feel like this space is going to be utilized a lot. Like the last couple videos when I talked about the Beacon Mix Crate and the Beacon Studio, having those products on display and being able to show you guys a close-up and a professional close-up of that would be a huge plus and added value to the video. So I'm definitely going to be using this space a lot moving forward, and please let me know if you guys have any questions about the space, because I think we're pretty much done here. I want to continue to make videos like this. I want to continue to push my limits as a creator and as a setup builder as well. So please let me know if you guys have any ideas or any questions about the setup that you saw today. If you liked the video and you're still here, please leave a thumbs up, or please think about subscribing to the channel. We've been really trying to push and post on a weekly basis to try to meet those watch hours to eventually be able to monetize this channel on YouTube. So thank you very much for being here. I love you guys, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.